So I'm sure you guys heard that gay marriage is now legalized in all 50 states with a monumental vote that changed history forever. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, yeah, it's great. I think it's great. It's definitely a sign that we're moving in the right direction. And it's definitely a sign that we're in the lane of equality for all. And that's nice. I'm glad that that idea is being put out there. And we're making the people feel like we're all equal. But the truth of the matter is, none of us is really going to be equal until we're all equal. Yes, so as long as humans continue to cause pain and suffering to other animals, we're never going to be equal. Equality is just a fucking joke. And I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. I can't stand the idea of equality when it's fake. To me, it just seems fake. It's like, oh, equality for all. Now let's eat these hot dogs, which really is just a pig that's been tortured. A tortured pig. Is that what you want your legacy to be? Is that what you want to leave behind? Is that what you want your name to be written on? Again, I think it's great that gay marriage is legalized. It's freaking awesome. And honestly, to be quite honest, I don't think it really hit me yet. But I think the reason it hasn't hit me yet is because it just seems like a joke to me. Like, it just doesn't seem, I'm sorry, but it just doesn't seem that important to me. It's definitely important, but it doesn't seem that important to me personally. But it is important. It just doesn't seem important to me. Gay marriage, everything is gay marriage this, gay marriage that, and honestly, it could be a big distraction. It could just be a huge distraction to distract people from the real cause of inequality, which is animal products. And my thing is, I walk around life and everybody wants their story heard. Hear me, hear what happened to me, hear my story, this is what happened to me. I was wronged. But you wrong other animals 3 times a day. I'm sorry, but eggs, bacon, and ham and all that disgusting crap is not making this world a better place. You know what's going to make this world a better place? When we actually practice real ideals of equality, when we start treating others the same way that we want to be treated. If you don't like pain being inflicted on you, if you don't like being tortured, if you don't like going through emotional stress or having your loved ones stripped away from you or killed in front of you or whatever it is, then why would you want to project that onto other animals? And it doesn't make sense to me. If you don't like experiencing pain and suffering and melancholy and emotional distress, then why would you want that for someone else? Why would you want that for another being? Why would you want them to experience that? For what? For 10 minutes of pleasure? For 10 minutes of eating bacon or less? And sometimes people don't always finish all of their food, which is even more depressing. Okay, now the animal had to go to waste. I remember there was this one time this was out when I was a meat eater, and I was a skeptical meat eater, and I was just skeptical in general. I was always asking questions ever since I was a little kid, and that always got me in trouble, but hey, it got me to veganism. But the point is, I remember I was at my friend's house, and he served me like this plate of, like, I don't know, it probably was like rice, beans, broccoli, and what some would consider a balanced diet. Yeah, let's balance out the cruelty. It also had like a piece of steak on it or something like that, or like, it was definitely like someone's rib cage or something like that. It was definitely a rib cage. And so I just remember looking at this piece of rib cage and thinking, and I said this out loud to my friend. I said, you know, was it worth it? Like, just being silly but asking the question, but still that thought bothering me in the back of my mind, and me just having to get that out there. I was just like, was it worth it for the animal to die just for me to just sit here and dine upon it? I actually asked that question as a meat eater. And the most interesting part is, and I have clear memory of this, he actually agreed. He looked at me and he said, "You're right. I know, right? That's exactly how he said it. He was like, I know, right? Like, for the whole animal to have to suffer and blah, 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 just so that the animal can end up on my plate, just so that I can eat it, blah, blah, blah. Like, and we both was in agreement that this was wrong, but still, we had this disconnect, and we still had this, what's the word? Cognitive dissonance. We had this wall. But eventually, I made the connection, as I'm here talking to you about how you should make the connection too. So hopefully you question your food choices and get educated, get vegucated. Vegucated is actually a great documentary. I think it's still on Netflix, but anyways, I'll see you guys later. Until then, peace and love.